Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 here in Gelderland. How far? Yep, that far away. Alright, it now works. It is actually working how I want it to work. And it is that far away. So yeah, I'm gonna just leave a little strip up the side of the field because quite frankly I don't think it matters, and I do not want to risk getting any of that canola into this combine, and that little tiny strip isn't going to make any difference. Not in the grand scheme of things. We don't want to get too close to that. Alright, the rest of the field is going to be fine. We can go right up close to the edge, but that bit there, I'm not taking that risk. Right, we'll bring you around here, and also I've got to be very careful when I turn that way, because what I don't want is the that side of the combine sort of reaching over into the field where it shouldn't be. So we've also got to be a bit careful of that. This is absolutely fan-schmastic, whizzing up through here with all of this. I love it. I don't know why the animation for the grain only goes out a little way like it does. Like, I've not been able to change that, and I want to, but I can't figure out how to do that. Like, it doesn't seem to show up anywhere, and it's flickering a little bit on the left-hand side there. It's not on the right. So I really don't know what's going on with that. Not sure what bit of it does the animation. I will work on another combine, because although this one is a lot of fun and I've quite enjoyed setting this one up and so on, and I have learned a few bits, I kind of like a combine with a detachable header and just kind of do it the more standard way, because it would actually be easier to set up a combine like that than it is doing this one right here. And I'm sure this one will work just fine if we wanted to keep this one, but I kind of don't. I kind of want to just work with something else, and I feel that the next series would be the place to do that. Now, someone did suggest that when we move, we have a new set of rules regarding machinery and what machinery costs. And I rather like the suggestion that was put forwards. The suggestion is that the machine cost is based on what the machine can do. So this machine here has got a width that is something in the region of 20 times what it would normally be. So the cost of the machine must be 20 times what the machine would normally cost. Now, that's not all of it, though. So if we go into the combines a second and we take a look. So if we go all the way up, I can't remember if I've reset this one back to what it stands. Right, it's 6 kilometers an hour. It doesn't give me a working width. Just says 6 kilometers an hour. It's got 1.5 cubic meters. So it's got 1.5 cubic meters. I think the working width, if we said the working width was 2 meters, I have no idea what I've got it set on now. It's something obscene. Let's go and have a look. Where are you? There you are. Right. 1.5, it's now 750. So the volume is 750 cubic meters, which is 500 times what the original was. The speed is 6 times faster than the original, and the width is roughly 20 times more than the original. So that, if you add up all of those numbers, is 528 times the original. We've got the 8 times the speed. Did I say 8 times, 6 times? I think it was 8 times. 8 times the speed, 20 times, and then 500 times, so 528. Which means 12,000 times 528, this machine should set me back 6.3 million. That is the basis on how I should work out all of my machinery from now on. Multiply them up by a factor of whatever I'm increasing things. So if I've got a faster working speed, then increase it by the working speed. If I've increased the volume of something by 1,000 times, then the machine must cost 1,000 times more than the regular base price. I actually really like this idea. Yes, it does mean that to start off with, things are going to be a tad expensive, but I kind of like this whole idea, this whole challenge idea. And this way, we don't take any of our machines with us. There are machines that we've made that we could use again in the future if we wanted to, because, you know, they're really good and it would definitely help us out. So, like, our main tractor is, I think I've just increased it to, actually, I don't even know if I've increased that one. There's a couple of tractors that I have tinkered with, and there's a couple that I haven't done anything with. And so, like, if a tractor has got double the base power, then we pay double the price for it. If a tractor has got 10 times the base power and twice the base speed, then there's 12. I'm not going to do 10 times 2. I'm not going to, like, make that 20. I'm not going to multiply each section with another section, because otherwise the price, like this, the price of this would, instead of being 6 million for this combine, we'd be paying something like 60 million for this combine, which, even by my standards, is probably a little bit too much. Not entirely sure we'd end up ever being able to pay that bill. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring this one out over here like this, and I'm going to attempt to set the hired help going. It's working at the moment, and I'm curious if we can get the entire field into this combine. I reckon we probably can. I'm going to need to go and get the forage wagon in a bit, and we'll start gathering all of it up. So, like the forage wagon combines, I'll probably keep those, but I'm going to, like, definitely change things around a little bit so everything is under my cat pack, so I can just have it all in a single pack and it's easy to find and everything else. There may be a few extra changes that I make to some of the stuff that we've already got, such as the plows and that. But what I'm going to do when I get to the new map is I'm going to start with everything exactly as it is right now. Like, just as the base game. I'm just going to start with the base game. I'm not going to do anything different. What are you doing now? Okay, I guess we've got a long way to go to turn around. But yeah, I will start with the base game and start with the base machinery that is on that map, and then once we get going with it, we'll start buying up the extra things to make ourselves a little bit more money. One of the things that I will be starting off with is one of each of the factories that we have got over there. So those are already bought and established, and there will be all laid out ready to use, and we will then be able to upgrade them later on. We won't have anything else, as nothing else is going to be there ready to go. We will have to make a bit of money. We're taking some debt with us. I'm not sure how much money I should take. This is the only question I have, really, is how much money should I take? We got 2.3 million euros right there. Should I take a couple million with us so that I can kickstart buying some of the stuff, or should we really start slowly? That's about the only question that I've got for how we should get things going, but we'll sort of figure that out as we go along. I'm going to let this one finish. I'm going to go and get the forage wagon, and I'm going to bring that one up here to this field. And I know that we've got another field that is already ready to go, but I want to bring it up to this field. What are you doing now? Why are you turning around so far? I got a feeling... Oh! He's actually turning... He is going to go where I want it to go, because he needs to be fairly close to that line to go back up through. Excellent. I'd not actually tested this bit, but this works as well. And the hired help is working perfectly with this. This is fantastic. Right, so I may take this... I may use this combine in the next... I really don't know at the moment. I'm not sure about this one. We will see. I'll see how I feel when we get started with the next map. Let me go and get... Oh, I need to do stuff there. Oh, one thing. the different crops on the new map, on the Irish map, I cannot change the crops. I have tried changing them round and adding in the... What do I want, by the way? I don't really want to use this one. I want to use that one over there. So if I... so anyway, I have tried adding in the other crops, because at the moment the crops that it can't do are the olives and the grapes and also cotton and sugarcane. And I've gone in and I've found where they are, but there's a whole different geo for that map. It's a UK geo that someone has designed so that you've got bigger planting window for your crops, like in the autumn and stuff, and a lot more of them can be planted in the autumn. So I really like the geo. I don't want to remove it from the map. I kind of like the idea of being able to work with that one, but what it does mean is that it doesn't include grapes or olives or cotton or sugarcane. And I was originally planning to do sugarcane on this map, but I never actually got round to it. So disappointingly, we will be walking away from this one without doing the sugarcane. Now, I was able to add in the sunflowers on this map, but I have not been able to do that with the other one. I will try some more, but I'm pretty sure I know why it's not letting me do it, and if I'm right about that, I'm just not going to be able to do it, because it will require me to rewrite a whole load of the geo. A geo is basically, it's an extra file that you put in so that the seasons behave in a different way, in a way that you specifically choose for them to, rather than the default way that the game has got set up. And the default way is, well, it's close to what we've got here. I mean, this one's got a geo as well, so it's slightly different. You know what? I'm going to go this way. Well, I was going to go this way. All these cars have made life difficult for me. And so the geo is... They can be really good. They change things around so that you can have a completely different set of seasons made up. Something that will actually fit a particular region rather than just a generic one across everything. And so the one that we've got is one that's been designed specifically for the UK, but obviously with the UK they've decided that, yeah, we shouldn't be having things like you don't have access to this land. We'll see. Okay, there's a little bit left behind there. I'm going to go back and get that. We're not going to have access to, in UK, to things like sugarcane and also cotton and grapes. Technically, you can grow grapes in some parts of the UK, and olives as well. So I'm not going to be able to include those in the series unless I can really do something different. So I was asking before about whether or not I should include a little bit of vineyard and stuff like that. That decision has been made for me. It's not going to happen. Not unless... well, I suppose maybe we could do something like that when we move to Hagenstead after we've done the whole Irish thing. So there is a possibility that we could go and do that. I think that could be fun. Could be an interesting thing to do. But I'm not going to be able to do it on the next map. I'm 90% certain I'm just not going to be able to do it because, like I said, it would mean I got to rewrite the geo, and I don't know how to do that. It's not so much rewriting as adding extra stuff in, but I still don't know how to do it, which means that it's just not going to happen. I'm not going to do it. So anyway, it's not going to take away a huge amount from what we're doing, and I don't think it's going to spoil very much. It's just that if any of you were hoping to be able to see fields of sugarcane in Ireland, I'm afraid you are going to be disappointed on that one. I'm also disappointed on that one. I would have liked to have seen fields of sugarcane in Ireland. So I will look at it a bit more and see if I can figure out a way to do it, but it's unlikely. It is unlikely that that will be happening. Let's just take this one on down here, shall we? He's done this. What do we got? We once well, I did 2 passes, and then we've got 4, 6, and he's busy reversing down there because, well, why not? He's going to go and do the bit over there, I think. So that would be 6, 7, 8 passes. 8 passes across the field. He's done the entire thing. This is fantastic. I really do like this combine. The thing I like about the new map that we're going to is that instead of ditches everywhere, it's got hedges everywhere. It does actually have hedges, but the great thing about them is that you can cut the hedges down. My only slight concern is if I do want to edit something on the map is whether it's going to put all the hedges back again, because it will be a time-consuming process to go and remove them all. However, that is a minor detail, I feel, in the overall gaming experience that will be our next map, and I am rather looking forward to it. So really, all we have to decide is what are we going to take with us? What do we take with us? Do we take... You know what? Let me just stop this one here a second. Do we take all of the money that we have? I'm going to just run him up here, and then I'll run him back again. Do we take the money that we have right now? Do I use that to maybe pay off the loan so that we go to our next location debt-free? We can do either. I'm actually thinking that maybe if we go to the next location debt-free, I can start ramping up some debt pretty quickly there. That would lead me to another question. Do I have a limit on the amount of debt that I'm allowed to accumulate while we're there? It shouldn't have any weight with this grain that is in the combine, but I think it does. I think there is, like, technically it's not supposed to, but I think the sheer quantity in the combine is still affecting the physics, even though it's supposed to be weightless. Which is weird. It's very weird that it is actually having that effect. Because it's absolutely not supposed to. And now the worst possible thing is if I lose control of the combine at the last minute and it like spins around and gets a tiny little bit of the canola that's in the next field. That would be an absolute nightmare for us. So we'll just wait right there. And I'll do that. Now start it up again. Now shut it off. Now start it up again. I want to just make sure there's no little, like, lips of grain inside, or of wheat. Straw, that's going to come out, but there doesn't seem to be. So, we have got 525,000 litres of wheat from that one field. Now... we're using, for our chickens, approximately 3 million litres of grain per year. And we've just gotten 500,000 litres there. I think it's 3 million litres a year. Something like that. So we would need... I'm not even sure we'd be able to grow enough grain to feed 60,000 chickens. Like, I'm seriously doubting whether or not we'd even be able to do that. That's going to be our single biggest challenge, I think, on the next map. I mean, if we don't have enough food and we end up, like, the chickens going hungry, they don't die in this game. What they do, though, is they stop laying. And we don't want them to stop laying, but... right, that's the penalty. We just stop earning any income from them for a little while. And then once you get food into them, it still takes them a little while for the happiness levels to come back up again. So, we will lose our income from them if something bad happens. But it's not sort of the end of the world completely if we have, like, if we've built up lots of chickens on the next map. And we don't have enough food. Right. Let me just double check that it is actually that much. So we've got 862. It's, hang on, I need to go and have a look at this. I need to just double check. I think we need to give them 3.2 million, because each chicken consumes 5 litres of grain per month. Okay, it is definitely 3.6 million litres. 3.6 million. We've gotten 500,000 litres off of this bit here, right? Just 500,000, and we need to get 3.6, which means we need... Let's just actually see how much we've got. We've got 5... Okay, so 6 times what we've got there. We've got 525,000. We need 3.6 million, which means we need 6 times that area. So that would be 1, 2, 3. So that would be 4 of it all together. And then if you move down here, probably down to about halfway there. Which... I mean, if we set the whole strip across the top, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the strip along the top, 6. So if we brought it down to field 54 here and across, I think, realistically speaking, all of that area there, so pretty much half of the map. If we were able to dedicate half of the map to growing food for the chickens, wheat and barley, we would be able to grow enough each year to keep the chickens fed at 60,000 chickens. That's half of the map taken up for just the chickens. Then we were wanting to build up cows, and they would need some as well. Not entirely sure that it's going to be possible to do what I originally set out to try to achieve. I'm really not sure that that's going to be happening. Is that all I can put in? Let's have a look. Wheat, 100,000. Just 100,000. Oh, all right, okay. Activate that bad boy in there. That one's now going to start running, and I will close that one off. I'm going to take the other 425,000 litres, and I'll put them into storage, and we will bring them back, and we'll put them into the mill at a later date. So, in our next series, chickens are not going to be generating the insane amounts of money that we've been getting from this series. And, like, they have easily been paying for the food that we get from them, and a whole lot more besides. And it does feel a bit sort of skewed, a bit one-sided. Everything is about the chickens, and they're the ones that have made us all the money. In the next series, though, this is not going to be the case, because we're going to... Let's clean this one off. Here we go. Because we are going to be growing anything that we feed them, they will be a lot more limited, which actually I think is a good thing. It is going to give us a bit more balance, because I have felt most of the way through that although it's glorious to see the eggs being sold 1 million litres at a time, it might just be a teeny tiny little bit skewed. The other thing that we have is the cows. Now, we're up to 1,000 animals in here, which is a lot of cows. We're getting a lot of milk at this point. We're getting 115,000 litres of milk in there. So we can start selling milk on a daily basis, or we need to start finding something to do with our milk beyond just the one dairy. Now, we're moving to Ireland. Now, we're already in Gelderland, and we need to, being in the Netherlands, cheese is a big thing. And we have made some cheese, and we've got our cows. Excuse me. But it's the same in Ireland. Ireland is all about cows and cheese production as well. So it's not just limited to here that we're doing cheese production. We'll be needing to seriously think about this over in Ireland, and that means if we end up with more than 1,000 cows, we're going to have obscene quantities of milk, and I need to think of something to do with milk. So if you have any suggestions as to what I should be doing with the milk, then now is the time. Quite possibly, we will end up just selling the milk. And yes, I know that we've got like a little bit of a line of grain all the way around the edge of the field, but this is a small price to pay for not losing any of the crop like we have done previously. And that is probably the way we will end up doing things quite frequently from now on with this combine that we've got, so that we don't end up losing everything. Because I really, really, really don't want to do that. Now, is that going to get that little bit over there? No, it's not. I want to get that little bit over there, so let me go and get that. There we go. Now, I want 195,000 litres, so I am not going to be able to get all of the straw in here. It's about to fill up now. 99. There, right. So now I have all of the straw, and I've still got some left behind. So I'm going to take this down, and we'll put this into the cows, and then we will come back and we'll get some more. I need to decide about the milk. That's quite an important decision that I've got to make, and I would like some input on that one. It's not a decision that we will need to make immediately. The map that we're going to has got its own cows. He's done something completely different with the cows. Well, it's not completely different. You do have like different weighting with the food and so on. Yes, it's done slightly differently, and there is some different options with cows, but it's unique to that map rather than being just the game standard that we're used to. So there may be some things that we do differently with cows and looking after them than we've been doing on here. I'm not planning. There is a beef option as well as a standard dairy option. I have no plans to be raising beef cattle. I'm going to be focusing on dairy for the next series. Well, dairy and chickens. Like, I was focusing on dairy on here. Well, actually, I've sort of been trying to do everything. And I do want to have lots of factories running as well in the next series. That's absolutely another thing that I want to do. Like this one, we've been trying to keep all of our factories running, and I'm going to be doing the same thing in the next series as well. I'm going to try and keep all the factories running if we can. That would be absolutely great. So we've got a constant stream of pallets coming out, but the cows are going to be my prime focus. I probably won't do sheep in this next one because well, because they're done slightly differently. I'd just rather not bother with the sheep. I'd rather just stick with cows and chickens. I think it'll be easier, and then maybe we'll do sheep in a later one. I'm not quite sure. That's about it for those. Let me unload this, and then we'll go and get the rest of the straw. It actually took quite a long time to unload, but we have now done it. 2 million litres of straw in for our cows. And as we're here, we will... Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.